Helldivers 2 Eagle Stratagem tier list. Alright, citizens of Super Earth, buckle up. We are ranking every Eagle Stratagem, aka how to rain death from the skies while sipping your last cup of instant coffee and pretending you're in a Top Gun montage. If you disagree with any of these rankings, well, feel free to leave a comment because I totally care. We are ranking these bad boys from S tier all the way down to absolute garbage tier. Yes, we have a garbage tier. I don't use it very often, but we have a garbage tier. Okay, so let's kick things off with one of my all-time favourite eagles in the game, the Eagle Strafing Run. Swoops through with heavy armor penetrating fire in a forward directional pattern from where it is thrown. This eagle is basically your mum yelling at you to clean your room, but with guns. It swoops down and just mows everything in a straight line. Terminids, hell yeah. Hordes go down like your Wi-Fi during a Zoom call, and because this fires forward, this can actually be useful in trying to clear the path in front of you so that you can make it through. But this can also be great for utility. Spore towers, they don't stand a chance. All three streaking nests, around 2 uses of these if you can line up your shots pretty nicely with these eagles. Who would have thought? But it works, and it works like a charm. Now for the big guys, it won't take them down in one hit. No. If you target Impaler's weak spots, you can sometimes kill them in 1 or 2 tries. But Chargers, Bold Titans, and even Hive Lords, you know that's quite self-explanatory, Hive Lords. Yeah, don't even try it. Don't even go there. The expanded weapons bay gives you 5 uses, which means you can deploy it like a toddler flinging spaghetti. Messy, but satisfying. Another consideration that often might go overlooked, this stratagem is often great for something you can just whip out easily when you get into a jam. I really like this eagle, honestly. Great multi-purpose use. And for that, drum roll please. I'm going to give it an S tier for the bugs. Yes, an S tier. If you disagree with me, take it up with the democracy officer. Otherwise, let's continue on. Against automatons, amazing. Fabricators are no more. Medium bots, it clears those enemies like a hot knife through butter. The only downside is if you aim at the floor by accident, you will feel very silly. I've done this too many times to count. New move. Wipe my squad. And me. So yeah, don't make the same mistake I have done so many times. Hulks and tanks though, it's not super efficient, although it can take them down in one go. If you get the right angle, often it takes 2 or 3 tries. Either way, this is pretty good on this front. I am going to give this an A for the boss. An all around big fat A, and that's followed by me. Big fat A. Illuminant, my dude, it's peak chaos. Shields gone, harvester generators, crispy, voteless, shredded. It's basically a Swiss army knife that also wants to kill everything you see. I think this was made for this front, honestly. It just does the job really well, largely in this stratagem's ability to handle the shields. Solid S tier, folks. You know the deal. You know the deal. Personally, I love running this more than a 500 kg, and that says a lot. If you have an Eagle Strafing Run paired with a Commando rocket launcher, you can take down multiple harvesters with ease, literally no problem whatsoever. I literally need a sip of my liberty, it's that good. Cleanse the palate, eat a peanut, and kill myself for an allergic reaction. Good times. Good times. One quick toss of this little miracle, and boom, spaceship shields are down, like a bouncer who just saw your ID. Then chuck a grenade into the hole and watch everything die faster than swapping to an assault rifle and hoping for the best. It's the open sesame for shielded nonsense, fast, tidy, and very satisfying. You also get 5 uses, which means you can clear a whole parade of shielded idiots without feeling too guilty. Like I said, it will chew through harvester shields like a hot knife through bureaucracy, leaving those hulking harvesters naked and miserable. That right there makes dealing with them go from please stop to that's more like it. However, the downside, you will need a few of them to actually finish the job. Think of it as the RPG boss potion. It doesn't kill the boss, it just turns off the boss's annoying invulnerability so you can smack it properly. It's not the eagle that you deploy and say, okay, you know, over and done with, let's move on, but it hands you the opening you desperately wanted, and it works like a charm when you capitalise on it, okay? Make sure you capitalise on it, otherwise it's literally for nothing, and your whole team's dead. Super falls, and we lose the war. You don't want that, I don't want that, none of us want that, okay? So make sure, yeah, you make sure you kill them. Kill them all! In short, pop it to drop shields, follow up with explosives or grenades, rinse and repeat. Efficient, satisfying, and honestly a bit too polite for how much havoc it creates. Another great thing about this is how good it is for just, you know, general hall clearing, being able to just wipe out a good chunk of them, especially as you run away like a little bitch, because that's what you are if you run away from the terminus. You're a little bitch. You're a little bitch. This is very solid and useful, and so I'm going to give it an S tier for the squids. Be sure to drop a comment and let me know where you would rank this, okay? I'm interested to know. I will just sit here and take a sip of my liberty until you comment and tell me. Now the Eagle Airstrike. Anti-tank explosives. This one's a bit of a curveball, quite literally. The Eagle Airstrike isn't your typical point-click delete like the strafing run. Instead of raining bullets in a vertical line like it's trying to mow the lawn, this bad boy flies horizontally across where you throw it and drops a barrage of explosive anti-tank bombs. No fancy targeting, no hand-holding, just chaos in a straight line. Bugs, you say? Pretty solid. It charges through streaking nests and spore towers like it's late for work, quite literally. Aim it well, and you can close multiple bug holes in one glorious carpet of destruction. The kind of moment that makes you feel like a military genius until you blow yourself up 2 seconds later. That's great. That's absolutely great. It's also one of the few eagles that can actually clear a bar titan bug hole, which is huge. As for the bar titans themselves, yeah, it may take 2 hits or a minor identity crisis. Either way, progress. Against the main horde though, not really ideal. If you're thinking of using this in close quarters, don't, okay, literally don't. Unless you enjoy tasting your own stratagem. But hey, if you love friendly fire, who doesn't love friendly fire? Actually, no, okay, no. We really hate it. We really hate it. Where this really shines is against chargers and impalers. One strike and they're gone. With the expanded weapons bay ship module, you get 3 uses too, which is absolutely amazing. Just try to keep count, okay? Try to keep count. It's easy to lose track when everything's on fire. This thing takes practice. It doesn't really target, so you'll have to learn how to eyeball that horizontal drop, like a World War II bomber. Quite literally. Still, overall, this is a great option. Not absurdly overpowered, but consistently useful once you get the hang of it. You know what? I'm going to give this an A tier for the bugs. Or a B. I can't really decide because I'm an indecisive person. Fine, A. Because I'm a nice guy. I'm such a nice guy. If you disagree, comment below and tell me how I'm wrong. I'll totally change it. Because that's how YouTube works. You know, I can just go in, you know, and change it and make you happy. Maybe one day in the future. Bots, now we're talking. Fabricators, gone. Hulks and tanks, mostly gone. Striders, practice makes perfect, but they can go too. It's basically a flying toaster. Works beautifully if you treat it with care. Otherwise, you'll just set your house on fire. And I've done that quite a few times. Because it's not super precise, you have to learn how to triangulate the drop. Yes, that means you're pretending you're an actual pilot for 3 seconds. But when you pull it off, it's satisfying as hell. Yeah, quite literally satisfying as hell. Thanks to its anti-tank nature, it does some serious work against armoured units, which is always fun to watch. Overall, still one of the better eagles for the bot duty, raining down multiple anti-tank barrages, like a discount artillery strike. So yeah, A tier for the bots. And hey, remember the good old days when these could one-shot striders? If you remember that, congratulations, you're not just a Helldiver, you're a mythical creature. Or maybe you're just a veteran Helldiver, you know, from Malevelon Creek. You know, you can be both. Squids, not so much, okay, not so much. Shields and harvesters basically laugh at you while you drop this thing. The airstrike won't take out the spaceships, and it barely tickles their shields. Against big hordes, it can do some decent crowd control, but nowhere near as efficiently as other Eagles. Harvesters in particular, yeah, this one just doesn't cut it. It's not useless, but it's definitely meme tier on this front. Not garbage tier, I'm not that cruel, but close enough for a pity mention. Still, it's funny to watch, and if you blow yourself up in the process, at least it's entertaining for everyone else. So overall, A tier for the bugs, A for bots, haha, nice try for squids. Still fun, still flashy, just maybe bring a backup plan if your plan involves accuracy. Honestly, it does have some impact enough to keep it from being garbage tier. It's not very often I rank any from there, to be honest, because most of the Eagles in the game are pretty good, but hey, it's here for the memes, and you know we love memes. We love memes. It's still mildly fun, so we'll slap it in C tier for the Illuminant, mostly because humour, efficiency. Now the Eagle Cluster Bomb. Imagine a pineapple that hates bugs. Now imagine it explodes into many smaller pineapples. That's your cluster bomb. Bugs, low levels, dead. Impalers, one hit if the gods favour you. Closing bug holes, only if you have god tier aim or accidentally press all buttons at once. This can't really effectively close bug holes. I think it may be able to if you're lucky. It also does minimal damage to the chargers and titans too, and if you don't know how to use it properly, well, you can explode yourself and your teammates quite easily. This being said, this actually has some great uses versus the hordes, which makes up for a lot of the downside, you know. You can just completely clear a field of low to medium bots with this, who in my view are actually the biggest threat on this front. So clearing those guys fast is a big plus for me. This also can deal with the impalers nicely in one shot, which is pretty decent. I like to use this at objective sites in order to try to clear that area, or use this on bug breaches to make them less dangerous basically. You know, 1000 IQ play. You've got to think smart as a Helldiver out there, you know. Dropping a stratagem right on top of you and your team. Fun. One major thing to note is this is a better option for you compared to something like the airburst rocket launcher, which has a similar impact on the battlefield. With the Eagle Cluster Bomb, you have 5 quick uses without a need to manually reload, as well as, in my opinion, just being a little bit easier to avoid killing yourself, which is fun, you know, committing suicide by accident. This has some downsides, sure, but the upsides, if used smartly, can yield you fantastic results, my dude. And for all of that, I've got to give this an A tier for the bugs. Bots, situational, medium enemies, toast, hulks, you'll need to hug the redo button, striders, pray, okay, pray. Not terrible, not amazing, but fun to watch chaos unfold, like dropping a bucket of glitter on a cat. Now, this isn't going to be great for things like the hulks as it doesn't have heavy armor penetration, but for the medium guys, it will do good work of them, it really does. As always, be careful where you throw this thing, because one bad bounce can end up getting you killed. Yeah, I've experienced that way too many times, man, honestly. This is good, just not the best, but it's okay. I'll give it a B tier for the bots, okay? Final B tier before I change my mind, okay? Because I change my mind way too often. So for the squids, mixed results. This thing's a bit like your dodgy mate who sometimes helps you move house and sometimes forgets halfway through and disappears. It's got its pros and cons. Spaceships, big no, yes, big fat no, massive no, you kind of know where you throw it, watch it explode, and this spaceship just shrugs like, that's cute, it won't take them out fully, and it struggles against anything with a shield. Basically, if it glows, this thing says, nah, I'm good, yeah, I'm good. It can stun harvesters for a second, a quick bonk moment, where they stop and reconsider their life choices, before immediately melting you anyway. Where it actually shines a bit is against the voteless horde and overseers. For those guys, this thing absolutely cooks. It can clear out a nice chunk of them in one go, turning a swarm into a slightly smaller swarm. Progress, you know, not amazing, but progress. Now, quick reminder, the attack has horizontal spread, which means you will need to aim sideways when you throw it basically. So picture yourself sprinting down the city streets and then suddenly turning like an action movie star to lob this thing across the grid. That way, it hits all the enemies who've politely lined up behind you for their turn to die. But because of that wide pattern and the very real chance you might reconsider yourself with your own explosion, you've got to use it carefully. Get your throw right or get out of the way, and pray to Super Earth that your teammates do the same. Or you've just killed your whole squad and committed space terrorism at the same time. that goes really down well, super rough, you know. If you nail the timing and the angle, you can clear entire packs of enemies like a pro. But if you mess up, well, you just gave the enemy a light show and your team a respawn screen. Still not bad, not great either, but yeah, not bad. It's that kind of middle ground stratagem that almost impresses you, but then forgets how to do its job when you need it most. So yeah, solid B tier for the squids, reliable enough to use, unpredictable enough to make for great clips. Now, the Eagle Napalm Airstrike, a fiery wall of chaos, bugs, great defensively, stops hordes in their tracks, automatons, meh, slow burn doesn't stop their laser spam, trash tier, squids, finally shines, voteless go down in flames, control points, cookout ready, a solid fun with fire, pick if you love barbecues more than efficiency. Honestly, I think this is one of the best stratagems for the bugs, regardless if you're playing solo with a team, because it just clears the way for you, you know, and it also does damage to Bile Titans, you know, big enemies, big fellas. So yeah, for me, it's going to be somewhere high on the tier list, okay, just for that reason. So this is not really for the damage it does when it immediately drops, but more so for its ability to lay down a wall of fire that can really diminish an incoming horde headed your way. So for the bugs, I think it's best used defensively or, you know, counter-offensive, and for the other two factions, pretty much the same, but I wouldn't really recommend it, you know, for the bots especially. Don't expect it to melt elites though. They'll just smirk at you while you're busy setting things on fire. Occasionally, if you're lucky, you'll catch one on fire like a Bile Titan, and hey, maybe it'll scream a little, okay? Maybe it'll scream a little. For clearing bugs, I'm giving it a solid B tier, okay? B tier. It's like a flamethrower's slightly clumsy cousin, fun, effective sometimes, but not perfect. This thing against bots is basically trying to swat flies with a wet spaghetti noodle. You can go ahead and lay a firewall to help advance, sure, but the bots just shrug, take their sweet time walking through, and keep shooting at you like it's a polite tea party. It doesn't stop anything, it doesn't even make them blink. Honestly, I'd call it trash tier. Don't even bother, level bad dude. Trash tier, trash, 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 trash. Don't ever let me see you using this stratagem against the bots, okay? Otherwise, no liberty for you. Just for me. All for me. Squids, now we're talking. This thing is basically the Kraken's nightmare. The bottles melt like ice cream in July, lay it perpendicular to a city street, and anything trying to stroll by is toast. Time it right when flying saucers drop ground troops, and you're basically running a barbecue for alien snacks. And since the flames stick around, it's like slow cooked destruction, juicy, messy, and satisfying. I'm giving it a big fat A here, okay, big fat A. Honestly though, don't get too excited because shields, spaceships, and harvesters aren't really that impressed. Honestly, you can get similar flame results with a crisper and probably spend less time yelling, fire in the hole. Plus, the Eagle Napalm only lets you do this 3 times before it's bedtime. Still, it's great situationally, just not the Swiss Army knife of destruction. So guys, here's the recap, okay? Bugs, B tier, bots, trash tier, absolute trash tier, squids, A+, barbecue master, okay? And that's how you separate the casual flamers from the real hotshots. Now, the Eagle Smoke Strike lays down smoke. Does it damage anything? No. Help you sneak? Slightly. Bugs ignore it. Bots maybe hide for 2 seconds. Squids, nada. Basically, it's plain and simple decorative fog. Use it if you're extra dramatic, you know, you want to kind of roleplay you're in a movie, then yeah, use it for that purpose. It's supposed to block the enemy's line of sight by laying down a big cloud of "please don't look at me" smoke. Now for the bugs, yeah, I'm not exactly its biggest fan. This isn't a lethal weapon, it doesn't kill anything, it just sits there looking mysterious. It's more of a ninja move for when you want to pretend you're stealthy. Sure, the smoke can obscure a bug's view, but if they're already spotted you, congratulations, they're still coming and you're about to die. They're locked onto you like your ex after you said you'd text later. Unless you're sprinting full speed in the opposite direction, it's not saving you. Maybe it can help if you're sneaking around objectives or trying to cross areas unnoticed, but that only really matters if you were already in stealth, which, let's be honest, most Helldivers treat like a myth. It just doesn't add enough to make stealth actually work. Yes, we've got the new stealth warbond, we've got smoke, but who really uses it, you know? Who really uses it? I don't use it. I don't use it whatsoever. It's basically like putting sunglasses on a walrus and calling it a spy. Feels redundant. So for the bugs, this lands in the I'm not mad, just disappointed category, also known as not a fan, but not a hater. Okay, so for the bots, I can give it, a few extra pity points. You're usually fighting these guys at range, and smoke can make it harder for them to, lock onto you. Sounds great, right? Until you realise you've also just smoked yourself out. You can't see anything either. What a great move. What a smart move. You're basically playing hide and seek now with lasers. It's a double-edged fog machine, okay? A double-edged fog machine. It can help you escape when things go, quite south and you want to run away and cry, but the bots will have a tougher time tracking you. But it won't stop them from firing. They can't see you, but they can still fire. So then you can still end up dead, So what's the point? What is the point in using this smoke stratagem? So you'll still get the occasional bullet to the face through the mist, which is just inspiring. It's not terrible, it's just mid, it's just mid. Like store brand cola, for the bots, it earns a C. A could be worse, could be better kind of deal. And then we get to the squids. Oh boy, for them, this thing's about as useful as a flashlight in a volcano. You'd think laying down a thick wall of smoke would help you slip away from the voteless aggro and sneak back into stealth. But no, the smoke just hangs around looking dramatic while you're being disintegrated. So, fun. It doesn't seem like it was ever meant to help with stealth, and even when you try to use it that way, it just feels pointless. Like using mouthwash when your leg's on fire. So yeah, for these squids, it's trash tier, literally trash tier, fully certified dumpster smoke. Summary, bugs, not mad, just disappointed tier. Bots, I guess. C tier. Squids, trash tier, straight to the bin. It's the type of stratagem that looks tactical, sounds really cool on paper, but ends up being the Helldivers equivalent of bringing a vape pen to a gunfight. And that never ends well. Now, the Eagle 110mm rocket pods. This thing drops explosive anti-tank barrages that try to aim for the biggest enemy near the red beam. Keyword, try. Try with emphasis. It's like that one friend who says they're great at throwing darts and then somehow hits the wall, the board, and your drink all at once. Bugs, decent. Impalers, dead. Bold Titans, we're cry together, okay? We're cry together. Honestly, it's fine, yeah, it's fine, but I wish it was better. It's meant for taking out the big guys, so it will go after the elites. You can drop a couple of these on an Impaler, and if you're lucky enough to catch its weak spot showing, boom, one clean hit. But come on. It's like child's play. I was hoping I'd be able to one-tap a charger, or perhaps a bar titan. You'd think something called anti-tank could handle a bug with horns, but it can't. Occasionally it does a job, but not always 100%. And the blast radius is also narrower than a laser pointer, so don't expect it to clear much of a general horde. It'll probably tag one or two bugs and then go, yeah, that's my shift done for tonight. Technically it can close bug holes too, but good luck convincing it to, honestly. Half the time it decides that the bug standing near the hole is the real problem, not the whole horde coming out of the bug holes causing an absolute apocalypse, but yeah, just that one little bug. Yeah, it's going to target that. You'll be there yelling at the sky like, no, the hole, Jerry, the hole. Honestly, I think you're usually better off with the Eagle airstrike. It's less picky, more reliable, and doesn't overthink its job. This one's just selective, okay? Let's just say it's selective. And like all Eagles, it's not exactly known for threading the needle, If there's a rock, a tree, or even a slightly judgmental blade of grass in the way, your rockets will find it. That's just Eagle life. That said, I do like that it has an extra use and deploys a bit faster than the airstrike. It's not terrible, just not legendary either. For the bugs, I'm giving it a B tier, a solid, yeah it works, I guess. For the bots, Hulks and tanks are pancakes. Striders, minor inconvenience. Okay, this is where it starts cooking. I actually like this one here. The auto-targeting helps it lock onto big enemies like Hulks or tanks, and it can usually delete them in one go. It's less efficient on factory Striders, sure, but it'll at least try to aim at them, unlike the airstrike, which requires you to do the work yourself, like some kind of unpaid intern. Okay, think about it this way. It's a bit like the strafing run's bigger, scarier, angrier cousin. Instead of mowing down little guys, it's deleting the big threats for you, multiple uses, strong hits, no need to aim precisely, that's a win in my book. For the bots, it's an A tier, an absolute A tier. Squids, shield and harvesters, still useful but not exactly the best. Again, I'm not a huge fan, but it does have some redeeming qualities. Thanks to the targeting, you can use it consistently to pop spaceship shields or slap a harvester's generator off its smug little dome. It's better than the airstrike here, but not by a huge margin. Think of it as slightly less disappointing. The main issue here is it's not great versus the ground troops and has fewer uses, so you burn through it faster. Kind of feels like the strafing run's distant cousin who shows up to family dinner without bringing anything. Still, it's decent for those focused hits when you need them. For these squids, I'll give it B tier. So a quick summary: B tier, good for elites, but misses the big boom moment, you know. Bots, A, deletes hulks and tanks like a champ. Squids, B tier, solid but won't blow your mind. This stratagem is basically a teammate who sometimes carries, sometimes misses every shot, but you keep bringing them because when they do land one, oh boy, it's beautiful. Now the Eagle 500 kg bomb, the big one. The oops, I nicked myself button. Bugs, obliterated. Spore towers, crispy. Chargers, impalers and bow titans, sayonara. This is the last Eagle stratagem we are covering in this video. The celebrity of the Eagle family, you know, it's so well known. The Eagle 500 kg bomb, committing space terrorism legally, free Helldivers 2, and all of it. This is the one everyone knows, everyone loves, and everyone's accidentally deleted their entire squad with at least once. This drops one massive bomb that wipes out anything unlucky enough to be within, well, half of the postcode, including you, your friends, and any poor soul who thought they were far enough away. So don't crouch behind a rock when you throw this thing, okay? It won't protect you, okay? It won't protect you. Starting with the bugs, this thing is just beautiful chaos. The explosive radius is enormous. You drop this thing and suddenly there's no more horde, just a crater and some regret. It's also amazing for closing multiple bug holes in one go, including those pesky bow titan ones. And when it comes to elites, yeah, this thing can one-shot basically everything: chargers, impalers, spore towers, and even bow titans if they're having an off day. That being said, it's not always consistent because sometimes a bow titan will just stand there like, hey, that's cute, and you'll need to drop a second one or follow up with something else, and it will just laugh at you, okay? Plain and simple. So make sure it's close, otherwise you've just wasted a mini nuke. And Super Earth will not be happy with that. The other catch, that blast radius is no joke. If you're not running for your life after calling it in, you will become part of the scenery. And obviously, as with all Eagles, if there's so much as a medium-sized pebble in the way, you can bet your 500 kg bomb is hitting that instead. It's the only weapon that can turn a perfect drop into a friendly firewall crime in 2 seconds flat, literally. But here's where it shines. Get the expanded weapons bay upgrade. Oh my god, man. I'm always speaking about the expanded weapons bay upgrade. Literally, okay? I'm always speaking about this bloody upgrade. Literally everywhere I go, this expanded weapons bay is there, okay? It's just amazing. You can get 2 of these monsters back to back. 2 quick drops, no waiting. That's what pushes this from awesome to I fear no bug. Even without the upgrade, it's still absolutely devastating. For bugs, this is the ultimate nuke in your pocket. Easy S tier, solid S tier. It's big, it's loud, it's deadly, and it doesn't discriminate. The Eagle 500 kg bomb isn't just a stratagem, it's a public safety announcement. Please stand clear of the explosion. Actually, just leave the continent. Automatons, factory striders gone, hulks toast, striders crunch. Now the bots, it's still great, just not quite as godlike. It's excellent for taking out factory striders, erasing clusters of enemies, and deleting entire parking lots full of automatons. It's also amazing utility wise, you know. You can drop one of these bad boys on a bot fab or basically any structure that looks at you funny. The only thing that bugs me is its inconsistency. Sometimes a direct hit doesn't kill a Hulk or a tank, which feels illegal, like I just dropped half a ton of explosives on you. How are you still standing? Still, the damage and area coverage are ridiculous, and if you've got that expanded weapons bay, you can just throw another one for good measure. For the bots, it's a solid S tier. So for the squids, spaceships, harvesters, consider them vaporized. This thing is basically a UFO detection button. One bomb and this spaceship just stops existing. Gone. Didn't even leave a thank you note. Against harvesters, it can struggle a bit if their shields are up, but once those are down, it lights up, it really does. It's also great for wiping out the voteless hordes. One drop and it's instant seafood buffet. The blast radius is still waiting to ruin your day, so make sure you run. Or cry, your choice. But honestly, once you get the hang of its timing, it's one of the most satisfying things you'll ever use in the game. It's like watching democracy itself descend from orbit and say, nope. So yeah, for the squids, another easy S tier. This is democracy in explosive form. S tier across the board. One button, many explosions. Your squad will either worship you or hate you. Either way, it's thrilling and one of the best stratagems in the game, or should I say one of the best Eagle stratagems you can use. Summary, bugs S tier, the bug apocalypse in one button, or space terrorism, or space genocide as I like to say. Bots S tier, delete striders and egos equally, squids S tier, UFOs, not anymore. Alright, so Helldivers, that's the rundown. Here's the real summary of all the rankings in today's democratic video. Eagle strafing run, S tier. Airstrike, A for the bugs and bots. C tier for the squids. Cluster bomb, B tier chaos across the board. Napalm, B tier if you like to barbecue. Otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't even recommend using it on the bots. As I said, if you use it on the bots, don't even play with me. Okay? It's okay, but I'd rather just use something else, you know. Maybe the smoke. Maybe the smoke. Smoke strike, trash tier, fog aesthetics. Eagle rocket pods, BAB. Basically, meh, but satisfying. 500 kg bomb, S tier across the board, everything. One of the best, as I said, one of the best Eagle stratagems in the game in Helldivers 2. Now, if you're the kind of person who plays Helldivers for dramatic effect rather than efficiency, congratulations. You've just been handed the cheat sheet for maximum chaos. Deploy bombs like you're tossing birthday presents to enemies. Smoke if you want their points. Napalm if you want to start a fire festival. Remember, Eagles are like relationships. Some hit perfectly, some leave you confused, some explode. Use wisely or don't. I won't judge you. Just don't use the smoke. Don't use the smoke. Don't use it. Okay, don't even touch the smoke. Keep my idea. Yeah, don't use the smoke. Or you'll make me cry. And that's it. Every Eagle stratagem ranked, roasted, and slightly abused for comedic effect. If you agree, comment amen. If you disagree, get a helmet because democracy doesn't care about your feelings. Drop a comment, cry or laugh. Helldivers never die. We just explode a lot, and I mean a lot. Thanks for sticking around. If you like this, subscribe, hit the bell, and remember, freedom is non-refundable, boys. Now go and commit space genocide, space terrorism, for democracy. For democracy. Ah.